There's a quiet kind of pain that many elders feel after 75, but few dare to speak about it. It's not just the body growing weaker or the silence in the house. It's something deeper, a spiritual weight, a hidden sorrow that no pill can ease. Today I want to share with you a Buddhist spiritual truth about aging, one that might explain why many elders feel broken inside and how they can begin to heal. So before we begin, sit comfortably, breathe slowly, and allow this truth to gently touch your heart, not with fear, but with understanding. No need to rush. Just one small sip, like a gentle greeting to your own being. You're still here. You're still breathing. And that is the most precious thing in this moment. There are mornings when you wake up and realize your body doesn't move as easily as it used to. Your legs feel a little sore, your eyes a little blurry, your memory not quite as sharp. You place your hands on the bed, turn slowly, and sigh. Not because it hurts, but because something feels different. And there are afternoons when you sit quietly on the porch. The sunlight leans across the yard, a few leaves fall, and in your heart, a question quietly arises. I wonder how much longer I'll stay healthy. Aging doesn't come like a storm. It arrives gently, little by little, day by day, through the ache in your back, through restless sleep, through a name-forgotten moments after thinking it, and through silent meals when loved ones grow distant or absent. You don't talk about it, because what would be the point? Everyone's busy. They all say, just take it easy. But how can your heart feel light when it's holding so much silence? In truth, you don't need someone to come and comfort you. You just need someone quiet enough, understanding enough to know that aging comes with questions no one dares to answer. And today, I just want to sit beside you, like an old friend, in silence, listening, and begin again with stillness, with breath, with who we truly are. You know, sometimes it's the quietest stories that touch our hearts the deepest. Not because they shout, but because they mirror something within us. Today, I want to share a few stories with you, not to evoke pity, but so that you might see, maybe, in each of these people, there's a part of you too. Story 1. Mr. Thomas, and the phone that no longer rings. Mr. Thomas is 82 years old. He lives alone in a wooden house on the outskirts of town. His wife passed away 5 years ago. His son lives in the city. His grandchildren are busy with school and life. Every morning, he brews himself a cup of tea and sits on the porch, watching the birds fly by. Inside the house, there's an old landline phone. How long has it been since it rang? He doesn't quite remember. Maybe 3 weeks? Or 3 months? No one calls. And no one needs to. He was once a strong man, a skilled carpenter, a devoted husband, a caring father. Now, he's just a quiet old man, keeping the past tidy. Once, I asked him, "Do you feel sad that no one calls anymore?" He simply smiled, eyes looking into the distance. Not sad, but each day I still place the phone on the table, as if I'm hoping. Story 2. Miss Linda, the nurse with no more patience. Miss Linda worked as a nurse for 35 years. She cared for hundreds of patients, held the hands of many who were near the end. Now, she lives in a nursing home in California. No more patients, no more coworkers, no more midnight call bells. Just her, in a pale-colored room, hearing the soft wheels of another nurse pass by. She's still healthy, still mobile. But sometimes, looking in the mirror, she whispers, "I wish someone needed me again, even just once more." Story 3. Grace, the grandmother of 3. Grace lives with her daughter and 3 grandchildren. Every day, she cooks, picks the kids up from school, cleans the house, folds laundry. People say, "You're lucky, surrounded by your grandkids." But only she knows. Sometimes, sitting alone in the kitchen, she feels like she's helping out, not truly living. She used to be a teacher, shaped the minds of countless students. Now she feels like just a pair of hands, no longer a voice. One day, her 10-year-old grandchild asked, "Grandma, what did you do before staying home with us?" She choked up, not sure whether to smile or cry, because they never knew that part of her life. Story 4. Professor Martin and the Silent Books. Professor Martin was once a respected philosophy teacher. His home library holds over 2,000 books, filled with thoughts, ideas, wisdom. But now, no one borrows the books. No one asks his opinion. He lives alone and still reads, but not to teach anymore. He keeps a journal to stay sharp. One morning, someone asked him, "Would you want to teach again?" He replied, "I don't need the podium. I just wish someone genuinely wanted to listen." Do you recognize yourself in any of these stories? Maybe you were once a strong father, a devoted mother, someone people sought out, relied on every day. And then, one day, the silence arrived. No more calls, no more requests. And you began to wonder, who am I in this world now? Some changes in aging come so quietly. No warnings, no loud signs. Just one day, sleep becomes harder, tiredness lingers longer, and the heart feels heavy for no clear reason. In the next part, I invite you to reflect on 6 quiet truths many people over 75 are facing each day. Not to make you feel sadder, but to let you know you are not alone. And only from understanding can true healing begin. 1. The feeling of becoming invisible. There's a quiet sadness that younger people often don't understand. It's when you walk into a supermarket and no one smiles or greets you. It's sitting at a family meal where everyone chats with each other, but no one asks for your thoughts. It's when you offer your opinion and someone gently smiles and brushes it off. Times have changed, Dad. Just rest, Mom. Let us handle it. You're not angry. You just slowly learn to stay silent. 2. Sleeplessness and the exhaustion no one sees. At night, the room is dark. The clock ticks away. You lie there, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. Not overwhelmed by a specific worry, but your mind drifts to what's been lost, to who is no longer here, and to all the things left unsaid. You turn, shift, get up for a drink of water, then lie down again. And by morning, when the house wakes up to begin a new day, you feel like you still haven't truly rested. 3. Taking pills every day, but still feeling uneasy inside. On the kitchen shelf sits a box of pills. For the heart, for blood pressure, for joint pain. A few each day, each for a different concern. Though they help keep your body in check, something inside still feels unsettled. No pill makes you feel useful. No prescription cures the feeling of being forgotten. And sometimes, as you swallow the medicine, you wonder, am I taking these to live longer or just to get through the day? 4. Losing a loved one and losing part of yourself. You once had someone to eat breakfast with, to read the paper with, to take evening walks with. And then one day that person was gone. Your childhood best friend passed away. Your spouse, your sibling, each one slowly faded. Now it's just you alone in a house once full of laughter. Every corner reminds you of someone, but no one sits there anymore. You slowly learn to walk alone. But there are still nights when you turn to the side and freeze, overwhelmed by memory. 5. Feeling alone, even within your own family. What saddens you most isn't living alone. It's living with your loved ones and still feeling lonely. The children are busy. The grandkids are glued to their screens. You try to start a conversation, but sometimes no one really listens. You force a smile, pour water for everyone, clear the table, wash the dishes, play your role as part of the family. But deep down, you ask yourself, if I disappeared for a few days, would anyone notice? 6. Losing your role and the feeling of no longer being needed. You were once the pillar, the decision maker, the one everyone turned to. Now, you're told to just rest. You're invited to sit down, told you don't need to do anything. At first, it feels relaxing. Then, it feels empty. If I'm no longer needed, who am I? Dear friend, there's something few people ever say aloud. That loneliness and lack of direction don't kill you instantly. They don't arrive as a sharp pain. They slip in quietly like a cold draft sneaking through a crack in the door, a little more each day. So gently, but constantly. And then one day, you realize you're just existing, not truly living. When an elder no longer has a role in the family, when no one seeks their opinion, when they're left out of daily conversations, they begin to believe, I'm no longer important. I'm just a spectator in a world that has moved on. And from that belief, consequences begin to ripple outward. The body weakens not just from age, but from no longer having a reason to move. Sleep shortens not because of illness, but because the mind keeps spinning with unanswered questions. Meals feel meaningless because it doesn't matter who I eat with. I eat to survive, not to enjoy. I once met a 78-year-old man named Gerald. He was a former Marine, a strong family man. Now, he lives alone in a small apartment. When I asked him, "Do you have plans for tomorrow?" he fell silent, then said, I'll just wait for the sun to rise, and then wait for it to set again." And Gerald is not alone. There are so many who were once strong fathers, resilient mothers, wise teachers. Then life changed. Or simply, age arrived, and they fell into a quiet loss of purpose. They no longer know what they're living for. They wake up unsure why, and they stop asking, afraid of being judged, afraid of hearing the same phrase, "You're old now, just live simply." But simple doesn't mean meaningless. Life eat any genes, a small goal to move toward, a seed to plant, a task to do, a person to care for. Without that, we don't die from illness. We fade from the inside out. Loneliness is a silent illness, and losing purpose is the wind that slowly dims the flame inside. The signs are easy to miss. A distant, unfocused gaze. A whole day without speaking to anyone. A meal eaten alone with no motivation to even clean up afterward. But inside, there's a whole ocean of emotions crying out, "I still want to live, but who am I living for? And why?" Dear friend, maybe you're feeling this way too. And if that's the case, please know, you are not alone. There are millions who feel just like you. But sometimes, even one small thing can awaken your sense of meaning again. An 84-year-old woman named Susan waters a tiny plant each morning. When asked why she does it so faithfully, she smiled gently and said, "Because when it blooms, I know I've still created something beautiful." An 81-year-old man writes handwritten letters to his grandchildren every month. He says, "Maybe one day, after I'm gone, they'll open those letters and feel loved again." You can begin again with something simple. A warm cup of tea in the morning sipped slowly, like a greeting to life. A short sutra read each night to soothe the mind. A phone call to an old friend, not for a long chat, just to ask, "How are you today?" Even at 75, 80, or 90, if you have one reason to live, you can still shine again. Whether it's a plant that needs your care, a grandchild eager to hear stories of your past, or simply one mindful breath, that's already enough to begin again. Aging is not about waiting for the end. Aging, if you look closely, is the chance to turn inward, to live with a depth that youth never had the stillness to feel. If you're feeling lonely, don't avoid it. If you feel lost, don't push it away. Sit down, place your hand over your heart, and ask yourself, if I'm still breathing, what is it that I can still give? Because you do have something left to give. You always have. You just need to see it again and start today. In the next part, I invite you to take one step deeper with me. into a profound truth. A truth the Buddha taught long ago, that suffering doesn't come from outside, but from within our own mind. And so, if we learn to turn inward, if we learn to sit quietly and face our emotions with honesty, then even within weariness, a seed of peace can begin to grow. Are you ready? Now, let's take the next step together, into a space where the mind is illuminated and hope is gently rekindled. There is one truth, and once you truly see it, you may step into an entirely different world. This truth isn't far away. It's not mysterious or hidden. It's right here within your own mind. All the things that cause your suffering aren't actually coming from the outside. It's not because your children are distant. It's not because of aging or illness. It's not even because the world is changing too fast. It's because your mind is resisting the present moment. It's this very mind where everything begins. It paints sorrow, it paints loneliness, it even paints the feeling that my life no longer has meaning. The mind is like a painter, but it doesn't always create beautiful things. Sometimes it uses dark color shades of disappointment, regret, or unfulfilled desires. And then you look at that painting and you believe it's real. The story of the painter. There was once an artist who painted a portrait of an incredibly beautiful woman. He gazed at it and fell into his imagination. She is the perfect woman. I love her. I want to marry her. Those around him gently reminded him, "You're losing your grip on reality. That's just a painting, you made it yourself." The next day, he painted a terrifying demon with fierce eyes and razor-sharp claws. As soon as he finished, he began to tremble. "Please don't hurt me. Have mercy." Again, people around him said, "My friend, that too is only a painting. You created it with your own hands." Our minds are just the same. One day, it paints a beautiful memory, and suddenly we feel nostalgic. Another day, it paints a dark image, and we fall into fear. The mind creates it, then makes us believe it. And from there, suffering begins. It's our attachment to what should have been or used to be that traps us in the past and makes us anxious about the future. My children should care more. My life should have gone differently. I'm scared if I get sick. Who will take care of me? If I die, will anyone remember me? All of these are just paintings of the mind. And suffering comes from believing those paintings are real. But did you know? If you simply pause, just return to your breath, just look at this present moment with calm eyes, you'll see you don't need anything more. You are already complete. When the mind is at peace, the world is at peace. Happiness doesn't come from having more, it comes from letting go of what makes you suffer. The Buddha once said, "There is no enemy more dangerous than an untrained mind, and no friend more loyal than a peaceful one." You may lose your health. You may not be who you once were. But if your mind is steady, you can still live each day fully. Take a moment to reflect. One day, someone says something harsh. If your mind is calm, you hear it and let it pass. But if your mind is already hurting, those words might keep you awake all night. Same situation, different mind, different suffering. An untrained mind is like a child, grabbing at everything, crying out, fearful of change. But a trained mind is like a wise friend, who knows when to hold on and when to let go. You might ask, how can I train my mind at this age? I'm already 75, 80. Is it too late? And the answer is, as long as you are breathing, it's not too late. And you don't have to begin with anything big. Each morning, just try this. Sit still for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Observe your breath as it flows in and out. Don't force it. Don't control it. Just be aware. One breath is enough to come home. The breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. It's the one place where you don't have to go anywhere to return to yourself. One deep breath can help you let go of the past, One calm breath can help you realize life is still happening right here, right now. You don't have to force yourself to forget the past. You just need to stop being pulled back there every day. You don't have to pretend to be positive. You just need to stop resisting what is. When you breathe, and you know that you're breathing, you are already living differently. If you've spent your whole life living for others, then now, please live a little for yourself. It's not selfish. It's simply returning inward so the mind can finally rest. And when the mind rests, the body softens too. And when both body and mind are at peace, you'll begin to see the days ahead are not just the waiting room before the end. They can be the most beautiful part of your life. You've come a long way. You've been through so much. Don't let the images painted by the mind blur the precious life still inside you. Choose to take a deep breath and smile because you are still here, whole, complete, at peace. If something in these words touched your heart, it's not because of me. It's because something within you has started to awaken. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. You know, life is always present, in every breath, in every step, and in every moment. Now, let's explore a few gentle yet powerful practices that can help you rediscover peace and joy from within. 1. Mini Anapana meditation. Just 10-15 minutes a day. Anapana, or mindful breathing, is a simple yet profound technique that calms the mind and brings clarity. How to practice. Choose a quiet space. Find a peaceful spot where you won't be disturbed. Posture. Sit comfortably on a chair or cushion. Keep your back straight but relaxed. Let your hands rest gently on your lap or thighs. Relax the body. Gently relax your entire body, from head to toe. Close your eyes softly to reduce distractions from the outside world. Focus on the breath. Pay attention to your natural breath as it flows in and out of your nostrils. Don't try to control it, just observe. Notice the breath. Simply feel the breath. If it's long, know it's long. If short, know it's short. Handle distractions gently. When the mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to the breath without judgment. Time. Start with 10-15 minutes daily. Increase gradually if you feel comfortable. This simple practice helps reduce stress, calm anxiety, improve sleep, and sharpen focus. It's the first step in cultivating mindfulness and awakening in daily life. Tips for success. Be patient and gentle. Don't force anything. Let the process unfold naturally. Be consistent. A daily routine brings the best results. Let go of expectations. Meditation is a journey. The benefits will come with time. 2. Gentle daily movement. Gentle physical activity not only supports your body, but also soothes your mind. Here are some easy options. Slow walking. Spend 15-30 minutes a day walking in a park or around your home. Walking meditation. Combine walking with mindful awareness of your steps and breath. Tai Chi. Practice slow flowing movements to improve balance and flexibility. Sit to stand exercise. Try standing up and sitting down 10 times a day to strengthen muscles. Note: always listen to your body and adjust activities based on your energy level and health. 3. Mindful eating. Eating is not only for nourishing the body, it's an opportunity to practice mindfulness and gratitude. Warm water in the morning. Start your day with a glass of warm water to gently wake your digestion. Healthy diet. Prioritize plant-based proteins, leafy greens, and fresh fruits. Eat mindfully. Focus fully on eating. Savor the flavors and textures. Avoid screens while eating. Gratitude before meals. Take a moment to appreciate the food and those who helped bring it to your table. Mindful eating supports better digestion, prevents overeating, and deepens the connection with your body. 4. Reconnect with loved ones. Meaningful relationships are a vital source of joy and strength. Here are some ways to nurture them. Call a loved one. Reach out to your children, grandchildren, or friends. Write a letter. Send your thoughts and well wishes in a handwritten note. Share a memory. Pass down stories and wisdom from your life. Teach a skill. Share a favorite recipe, a song, or a prayer with your grandchildren. Staying connected eases loneliness, strengthens bonds, and brings joy to both you and your loved ones. Dear friend, life has its ups and downs, but within each of us is an inner strength that can guide us through. By practicing simple habits like meditation, gentle movement, mindful eating, and connection, you can rediscover peace and purpose from within. Every day is a new chance to begin again, to love yourself, to love others. If you're still breathing, it means there's still something left to live for, something left to give. Old age is not the final chapter. It is the time to come home to your truest self. You are not being left behind. You are still being invited to live deeply, mindfully, and peacefully. Each breath is an opportunity to return to the present. Each moment is a precious gift. Let your soul rest and heal. Reconnect with the people you love. Share the memories and words of love still waiting inside you. Because through connection, we rediscover life's meaning. If you are still breathing live every moment fully, let no day be wasted. Live with gratitude. Live with awareness. Old age is not the end. It's the beginning of a new journey. A journey back to your true self. Live deeply. Live mindfully. Live peacefully. If you've listened this far, perhaps something in your heart has quietly stirred. A longing, a memory, or simply a deep breath in the stillness of life. Old age is not the last chapter. It's a golden autumn where falling leaves don't signal the end, but reveal a deeper, more serene beauty than ever before. If you can still sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel your breath, that is a sign that life still flows within you. If you can still smile, even just a little, that is the light of your inner spirit still glowing. If you can still remember a cherished memory or a loved one, that means your heart is still beating with love. The Buddha once said, "There is no enemy more dangerous than an untamed mind, and no friend more loyal than a peaceful heart." So return to yourself. Listen to the voice within. The one that doesn't judge, doesn't compare, only accepts and loves. Share with us. What have you discovered on this journey? A thought, a feeling, or maybe an awakening? Even your smallest words may become a light for someone lost in darkness. Thank you for still being here, for still breathing, still loving, and still living. See you again on the next journey.